We're live from the Sullivan Center on the campus of the University of St. Francis in Joliet, Illinois. Terry Bonadonna with you once again for CCAC basketball, and the Fighting Saints today of St. Francis get to wrap up their home schedule as they face the Trinity International Trojans. Malik Bailey at midcourt loses the tip to Jeremy Bonifacio, and Trinity International gets the first possession going from left to right and wearing black. Saints are in white. They'll be going right to left in the first half. Trinity looking to score first. Mitch Quasigro comes up with a block of Thaddeus Johnson. Johnson is shaken up on the other end of the floor as the Saints begin to run. Here's Jordan Thornton faking the shot, now driving, kicking into the corner. Cole Mysick for three. He got it. Good start for the Saints. Mysick hit 8 3-pointers on Wednesday against Holy Cross, and he's got the first points of today's game. Thaddeus Johnson is okay, back involved in the action. It's up top in the hands of Jeremy Bonifacio. He carries it around to the right side. Ron Pekka back to Johnson, right wing. Johnson looking inside, can't find Presniakovis, so he passes into the corner instead. Bonifacio. Here's Presniakovis at the free throw line, kicks it outside. Three-point attempt is good for Nate Schmidt. And we're tied at 3 early on in this game, a three-pointer for each side. St. Francis starting all seniors today on senior day. Malik Bailey, Jordan Thornton, Quinn Schneiders, Cole Mysick, and Mitch Quasigro. Thornton is called for the travel. It's a turnover committed by the Fighting Saints. Trinity basketball, 1:07 in. Saints have 6 seniors on the roster. The only one not in the starting lineup today is Jarrett Gamazel. He can't start all 6. I'm sure Gamazel will get his share of action today. Here's Bonifacio off on the left side. Bounce down low to Johnson. Thaddeus Johnson backs in on Quasigro, kicks it out to Schmidt. Another three-point attempt. This one rims out, and the rebound goes to Jordan Thornton. Thornton flying down the floor, pulls up, left wing, just inside the three-point line, misses the jumper, and it bounces over the backboard out of bounds. For Jordan Thornton, first time we've seen him in the starting lineup in a while. He's fallen out of the rotation of late after putting up some big scoring numbers earlier in the season. He's averaging 8.4 per game. This is his second start of the year. Saints try to trap, and the Trojans get across it. Here's Schmidt, another three-point attempt, and it's good. Nate Schmidt, 2 of 3 from three-point range in the first half of today's game, and it's 6-3. Trinity International holds the lead over St. Francis. Here's Quinn Schneiders trying for 3, and Schneiders ties the score at 6. And it gets a big cheer from the St. Francis bench as Quinn Schneiders connects on his first field goal of the season. Bonifacio loses the handle on the ball going up. It's taken away by St. Francis. Cole Mysick on his way down the floor. Mysick pulls up the three-point line, gives it up to Quasigro. He tries a 3, and not this time. It rims out. Quinn Schneiders coming into play this afternoon had exactly 1 point this season in 4 games played. Three-point attempt, Presniakovis. He misses long. The rebound goes to Malik Bailey. Cole Mysick along the sideline. A defensive foul is called against Pekka of Trinity International. First foul called in today's game. Saints will inbound from the sidelines. 6-6. We're tied early on in this one. All of our points have come on 3 balls. Malik Bailey checks out. Jarrett Gamazel is in. So all 6 seniors have seen action in just the first 3 minutes of today's game. Thornton for 3. No good. Rebounded by Trinity. Bonifacio sends it off to Pekka. Pekka sets things up from the right side. The freshman from Estonia gives it down low to Presniakovis. And Diamond Presniakovis makes it 8-6 in favor of Trinity International. First lead of the game for Trinity. I'm going to take that back. They led 6-3, so 8-6 now is their second lead. Jarrett Gamazel gives it to Schneiders. Another 3. This one is just off, and it's rebounded by Thaddeus Johnson. Johnson off to the left corner. A drive down the baseline, an offensive foul called on Pekka, and that's the second foul of the game on Pekka. So Ron Pekka, after just 3 minutes and 28 seconds, is already forced to head to the bench in foul trouble. Trevor Guerra comes in. Here's Jared Gamazel around a screen from Quasigro and a moving screen. Foul called on Quasigro, first one on the Saints today. St. Francis turns it over, Trinity International ball. Saints 9-17 this year, 7-13 in conference. Trinity International 5-20, 4-15 in conference play. Both teams have been eliminated from contention for the conference tournament. They get it across half court. Johnson down to Schmidt, another three ball. Schmidt misses, rebounded by Presniakovis. Takes it back into Quasigro, outside Schmidt. Swing to the top of the key. This is Trevor Guerra. And Guerra resets. 10 seconds on the shot clock. Looking for help to the right side. Now he dribbles to the left around a screen from Johnson. Guerra tries a three. Off the mark. Rebounded by Misick. Cole Misick on the move. Drives from the left wing and now pulls up. Passes outside. Jordan Thornton for three. Short. Rebounded by Johnson. Hot start shooting-wise in this game. Both teams have really slowed down. Saints are struggling from the outside as Thornton tries to knock it away. Bonifacio gets it back, spins around one defender, lays it up and misses. Gets his own rebound, back up, and a foul. Second foul called on the University of St. Francis. Goes on Quinn Schnieders. That's Schnieders' first foul. It sends Jeremy Bonifacio to the free throw line. Bonifacio this season is hitting 49% of his free throws. He's averaging 6.5 points per game, and he does not get his first point of today's game as he misses the front end. One more shot coming. 15:28 to play in the first half. Missed them both short. So the Saints get away with the foul as Trinity comes up empty on that possession. St. Francis ball. Cole Misick on the left wing, up top Quinn Schnieders. Swing around to the right side, Jordan Thornton. Thornton drives, pull up, leaner, rolls in. Jordan Thornton ties this game at 8. First points for the senior Jordan Thornton. We've seen only seniors on the floor so far for St. Francis here on senior night. Here comes Jeremy Bonifacio on the drive. Around Misick, misses on the open layup. Now the Saints want to run. It's Quinn Schnieders pulling it up at the three-point line. Schnieders passes off to Mitch Quasigro, feigns the three-pointer, steps back and passes off to Quinn Schnieders. Schnieders brings it back and resets. 16 on the shot clock. Here's Jordan Thornton. Thornton walks it to the right side, back up top Quasigro. Open look for three, hits it, and the Saints take an 11-8 lead. Presniakovis gets it by Jordan Thornton across half court. Loses possession, picks it back up and travels. Traveling violation against Diamond Presniakovis. And here come the subs for St. Francis. The usual starters are coming back in. Eric Ting, Lewis Holy, Arnold Agard, and Joey Bajimi. So Jared Gamazel stays on the floor, but otherwise the seniors depart after playing a strong 5.5 minutes. Here's Gamazel, deep three, and that's well off to the right. Rebound goes to Trinity International. This is Thaddeus Johnson, lobbing it towards the corner. Now Presniakovis puts it on the floor, gets inside, over Lewis Holy, misses. Johnson dunks on the follow. An impressive follow from Thaddeus Johnson, a one-handed rebound and dunk. And it's an 11-10 game. Here's Eric Ting up to Joey Bajimi. Now to the left side, Arnold Agard. Agard across court, Bajimi puts the ball down, now drives. He's blocked by Presniakovis. Presniakovis on the move the other direction. Pulls up inside and travels again. Second travel called on Diamond Presniakovis. Here comes the sub for Trinity. John Hildebrand is in. Jeremy Bonifacio, senior from the Bronx, checks out. Gamazel to Bajimi. To the right side, this is Eric Ting. Lob down low, Holy. Holy working against Johnson. Good position, but he can't finish. Tipped out to Gamazel for three. No good, in and out. Third chance. Bajimi with the rebound, scores. 2 offensive rebounds on that possession, and credit to Lewis Holy for keeping plays alive, even if he wasn't the one who got credit for the rebounds. Ball poked away and stolen by Eric Ting. Here's Gamazel to the basket, reverse layup, goes down. Jared Gamazel has his first 2 points. Saints have their biggest lead at 15-10, 12:59 to play in the first half. And a timeout is called. A fast-paced start to this game as the University of St. Francis tries to wrap up their home schedule with a victory. They've been pretty good in that regard, 7-3 in their home finales the last 10 years. They've had trouble, though, against Trinity International in recent seasons. They haven't beaten these guys in 4 years. January 23rd, 2016 was the last time that the Fighting Saints defeated Trinity International. Trinity, though, has struggled this year. It's interesting, I was talking about it a few hours ago when these two schools had their women's team going head-to-head. Trinity International women's team is heading in the right direction. They have had a run of really bad years and now finally a winning record this season for the first time in 9 years. So the Saints put on the trap and get the steal. Malik Bailey goes up for the layup, scores, and a foul. Saints are trying to pull away. The lead is 17-10 with a chance to make this a three-point play. Trinity International men have been pretty good, very competitive the last several years, and this season just hasn't been there for them. Trying to rebuild the program once again with the new head coach Greg Miller. Bailey makes it a three-point play, 18-10. But this is not your typical cellar dweller. They certainly can surprise some people. Trying to right now is Schmidt. Pulls it in and kicks it back out to Johnson. Johnson to Schmidt, now lobbed down low for Presniakovas. Presniakovas up over Bajimi, yes, and a foul. I feel like usually in the CCAC there's at least one or two teams on the schedule that tends to be an automatic win for everybody else, and that just doesn't exist this year. Trinity International is sitting in last place in the conference standings, but they've got 4 wins and they've been very competitive in some other games. The free throw rolls in from Presniakovas. They've beaten a pretty decent Roosevelt team twice. They carried Robert Morris into overtime, and Robert Morris is one of the top teams in the conference. So they are a very competitive squad, even if the results haven't been there. And you'd say the same thing about St. Francis. Lewis Holy down in the corner. Holy shovels it off to Eric Ting. Ting fights it across court to Agard, down to the corner. Bajimi for 3. Short. Rebound knocked out to Eric Ting. Once again, Lewis Holy keeps one alive. Best offensive rebounder in the conference. Eric Ting dribbles the ball off his foot and out of bounds. We're going the other way. Holy's the best offensive rebounder in the conference, but he hasn't gotten any offensive rebounds today. He's kept 3 different shots alive for his teammates to get offensive boards. That time, though, the Saints not able to capitalize with a second chance effort. Here's Schmidt down in the corner. Schmidt works it outside to Guerra. Guerra guarded by Malik Bailey. Guerra walks it to the right, passes over to Hildebrand. Presniakovas at the top of the key. Down low for Johnson. Johnson fights it inside, going up, blocked by Lewis Holy. Hildebrand turned away. Holy gets his first block of the game. Now the Saints on offense. Bailey, deep 3. Too strong. Rebounded by Hildebrand. 11:30 to play. First half. 5-point lead St. Francis. They've led by as many as 8, and a foul called on Eric Ting. St. Francis is 8 games below 500 this year, but they've only been outscored by 5 points. So their losses come by an average of less than a point per game. It's been really an incredible season for the Fighting Saints. Much better and much more competitive than their record would indicate. Ranked in the top 20 to start this season out. Got off to a slow start. They've really played much better lately and are trying to wrap up the season with a couple of wins today and Wednesday against St. Xavier on the road. Here's Jeremy Bonifacio, guarded by Holy. 6 to shoot. He takes that shot. Bonifacio knocks it down from 13 feet away. 5 straight points for Trinity International, and it's a 3-point game. Just under 11 minutes to go in the first half. Eric Ting loses possession, passes off to Agard on the right side. Arnold Agard pulls it up top and backs it towards the midcourt circle. Now to Lewis Holy with half the shot clock used up. Hand off to Ting. Eric Ting, guarded by Guerra, drives in, pulls up, takes the shot and scores. Eric Ting from a similar spot on the floor to where Jeremy Bonifacio hit on his jumper on the other end. They trade jump shots. It's a 5-point lead for St. Francis. Here's Trevor Guerra walking it to the left. Picked up by Ting, throwing towards Bonifacio and knocked out of bounds by Lewis Holy. Trevor Ross, the freshman from Aurora, heads off to the sideline to inbound this one. And gets it into Presniakovas. Presniakovas starts to drive, pulls back out. Back to Ross. Ross cuts inside, and he's called for the travel. Lewis Holy stood in there, tried to take the charge, but Ross was a little flummoxed before even running into Holy. Dragged that back foot before any contact was made, and it is a turnover. Here's Arnold Agard for St. Francis. Joey Bajimi off to the right side, Cole Misick. Misick takes one dribble, gives it to Holy, now left side, Agard. Quick pass down to the corner, Malik Bailey for three, it's short. And this time it's one and done for the Saints as Trinity is able to come away with the rebound. Guerra quickly the other side, draws the contact, no call, misses on the shot. Ross gets the rebound and Ross is fouled going back up. Trevor Ross heads to the line for 2 free throws, 9:49 to play in the first half. St. Francis leads by 5. Second foul on Joey Bajimi, so he becomes the first Fighting Saint get himself into foul trouble. Josh Cherry hops off the bench. Ross misses on the first free throw. Cherry comes in for Bajimi. One more free throw for Ross, and it misses. So Trinity is 0 for 4 from the free throw line today. Not a great start in that regard for them. Lewis Holy takes one dribble, lays it up, misses, but he's fouled. That foul goes against Diamond Presniakovas. It's his first and the team's fourth. Lewis Holy to the line. On the other end, Trinity has missed their first 4 foul shots. St. Francis is 1 for 1 on the day, and they had a very good day shooting free throws on Wednesday, keeping it close against Holy Cross in a game that they lost. Holy misses on the first here. They were 12 of 13 in that game. On the season, 81%, best in the nation. Holy makes the second. That's for the team, not for Lewis Holy, although he's been very good as well. 1 of 2 on that trip, 78% for the season. There's a trap of Ross in the corner, and he throws it off the backboard and out of bounds. So the St. Francis full court press works out, forcing a turnover. And the Saints take possession with 9:33 to play in the first half. They lead by 6. The lead has been as big as 8. It was 18-10. Presniakovas checks out. Trinity brings Thaddeus Johnson back in. Cole Misick for 3, no good. Rebound Cherry, second chance is good. First 2 points for Josh Cherry off the bench. And the lead is back up to 8. Thaddeus Johnson picks up his dribble, passes out. This is Bonifacio. Bonifacio looking for help. Finds a man behind him. It's Trevor Guerra. Guerra is picked up away from the basket by Malik Bailey. Now Cole Misick on the right wing. Down to the corner. This is Hildebrand. Hildebrand jump stop in the paint. Floater misses. Rebound knocked out of bounds. And last touch by Lewis Holy. Trojan basketball. Mitch Quasigro is back in for the Saints. Lewis Holy grabs the seat. And Ron Pekka returns to action despite his 2 fouls for Trinity International. Ross looks to get it in, lobs it in for Hildebrand. Hildebrand dribbles, gets inside, stripped by Misick. Bailey grabs the loose ball. It's a steal for St. Francis. Cherry pulls up at the 3-point line, lobs it back for Quasigro. Corner, Misick, open look, got it. A 3-pointer for Cole Misick. He's got 6 points. Timeout called by Trinity. 26-15. The Saints have put together a nice little run here after Trinity had tightened it up. The lead was 8. Trinity got it back to within 3, but now an 11-point advantage for St. Francis, including a big 3-pointer right there from Cole Misick. And the Fighting Saints off to a very strong start in the first half today. as they look to bounce back from back-to-back really tough losses in the last week. They played the two top teams in the conference, and it really isn't even close as to who the top two teams are. Olivet Nazarene ranked number 4 in the country, Holy Cross number 19. Both teams are 17-2 in conference play. So really those two squads are head and shoulders above everybody else. St. Francis had the misfortune to have to play them back-to-back, although they had the good fortune, I guess, of only having to play both teams once. They didn't play either of them 2 times. Still, having to see them back-to-back late in the year is tough. Both games came down to the wire. They led Holy Cross for most of the way on Wednesday, but they fell just short. Last Saturday against Olivet Nazarene, it was 89-83, and then on Wednesday against Holy Cross, they fell by 4 points, 85-81. But they wrap up the season at home today against Trinity International, and then at St. Xavier on Wednesday. And they would like to finish strong. All 13 of their conference losses this year have come by single digits. In fact, 7 points or fewer for all of those losses. Some of their wins have been blowouts, so their scoring differential has been a lot better as Hildebrand breaks the press and lays it in. Good job by Trinity that time out of the timeout, drawing up a play that would easily break the trap of St. Francis, and it got Hildebrand an open layup for his first 2 points of the afternoon. Here's Malik Bailey up top. Long 3-point attempt, off the mark, rebounded by the Trojans. Thaddeus Johnson passes off to Bonifacio, who drives, misses on the layup, battling for his own rebound. He's got it. Bonifacio back up, but an offensive foul call. He got Josh Cherry with the elbow as he tried to go back up and score after his own miss. And so Bonifacio is called for his first foul. It's the 5th on the team. 26-15 is our score. Malik Bailey holds it on the right wing for St. Francis. Cherry over to Agard on the left side. Up top, Quasigrove, 3-point attempt. A little too strong. Stays in bounds though. Cherry gets the rebound and he's fouled. Second foul on Hildebrand. And Josh Cherry to the line to try to extend a 9-point lead. 26-17 is our score. Cherry's first free throw misses. Cherry's at 68% for the season. 65% after that miss. And do the easy math because he's taken exactly 20 shots from the foul line. He's 13 of 20. Jordan Thornton is back in for Arnold Agard. Second free throw falls for Cherry. 10-point game, 3 points for Josh Cherry. Good balanced scoring early on in this game for St. Francis. Johnson down to the corner, Schmidt for 3. That's good. Scoring not quite as balanced for Trinity as Schmidt now has 9 points. 3 3-pointers. Misick trying to match him, and he does. He hits his 3rd 3-pointer. Misick's been incredible from beyond the arc these last few games. He made 8 3-pointers, 8 out of 10 attempts on Wednesday, shooting 44% from beyond the arc coming into today. Johnson down low, stopped by Cherry, no good on the shot. Rebound Saints. Here comes Jordan Thornton. Thornton flying to the basket, off the glass, no. There's Cherry following at the offensive rebound, and he's fouled going back up. Good action for the Saints on the offensive glass today. They have been keeping possessions alive left and right. That time it was left from Josh Cherry. And fouled by Bonifacio, who becomes the second Trojan to reach 2 fouls. Cherry's first of 2 shots is good. Presniakovis back in for Trinity. Second foul shot misses, so Cherry makes 1 of 2 for the second straight time. 31-20 St. Francis. Johnson nearly lost the ball. Here's Ross. Outside, Pekka now. Pekka looking for help from Thaddeus Johnson. Gets the screen to the left, steps into a 3-pointer and misses. It's rebounded by Josh Cherry. Outlet pass to Jordan Thornton. Thornton on the move, back to Malik Bailey. Bailey drives down the lane, open layup, got it. Well, that hung on the rim for a long time and finally fell for Malik Bailey, who's got 5 points. 13-point lead for St. Francis, 6.5 to play in the first half. Presniakovis is fouled. Jordan Thornton called for his first. It's the team's 6th, so the Saints have hit their limit. Trinity is over the foul limit. And here's Trevor Ross to inbound. Ron Pekka passes off to Nate Schmidt. Schmidt looks down low, has Thaddeus Johnson there. Johnson backs in on Quasigrove. Spins towards the basket, loses the ball, gets it back. Johnson back up, blocked from behind by Quasigrove. Here comes Malik Bailey. Bailey bounces it to Mysick. Extra pass to the corner and right back to Mysick for 3. That's short. Rebounded by Josh Cherry. Saints set it up all over again. 15 on the shot clock. Jordan Thornton on the right wing. Thornton cuts inside. Thornton layup, no. Bailey with the foul, misses on the tip. Thornton gets the rebound, loses the ball. It's up in the air and brought down by Presniakovis. On the other end, Pekka layup misses, knocked out of bounds by Quasigrove. 5:35 to play. First half, 13-point lead St. Francis, and it's Trinity basketball. Jared Gamazel is in for Josh Cherry. Trevor Ross with 20 on the shot clock. Set to inbound for Trinity. Into the corner for Pekka. Pekka along the baseline. Kicks it out to Ross. Ross thought about the jumper. Instead, he passes back to Johnson. Johnson step back for 3. No good. Offensive rebound, Ross. Third chance of this possession. Ross is blocked by Bailey. 3 stops for the Saints on one trip down the floor. Here comes Jared Gamazel. Gamazel into the corner for Mysick. Wide open 3. Got it. That's the 4th three-pointer of the game for Cole Mysick. He's got 12 points, and Trinity calls for a 30-second timeout with 5:09 to play in the first half. A 16-point lead for St. Francis, in large part due to the impressive outside shooting. And lately, it's been Cole Mysick who hit the first 3 of the game, and he's hit the most recent one as well. 12 points for him. He's now got 12 three-pointers in his last 2 games played. And St. Francis is pulling away. And the amazing thing right now is Trinity just hasn't been able to catch on. Mysick consistently is getting open shots. And the Saints have continued to take the three-pointers because they've been pretty good looks. Haven't had to focus necessarily on getting the ball inside. There have been some openings. They've taken advantage. Pekka passes across half court to Ross. Down to the corner. Long jumper for Schmidt. Rims out. Rebound to Malik Bailey. Bailey off to Thornton. Thornton fires to the corner for Gamazel. He fakes. Trying to drive on Pekka. Steps back. Fakes again. Now he gives it up to the top of the key. Mitch Quasigrove. Quasigrove steps in. Now back out to Thornton. Three-pointer is good. Jordan Thornton has his first three-pointer. 5 points for the senior guard Thornton out of Hoffman Estates. Trinity down by 19. Ross drives, layup misses. Rebound Mysick. Mysick on the run. Gets by Presniakovis. Down to the corner Thornton. Back to Quasigrove. Out to Gamazel. Gamazel fakes the shot. Starts to drive, steps back, gives it up to Malik Bailey. 17 to shoot. Bailey resets. Here's Mysick. Mysick bounces in low for Thornton. Layup gets the roll. 7 points for Jordan Thornton. St. Francis is doubling up. Trinity International 41-20. Just a dominant run for the Fighting Saints. 23-5. And it's out of bounds. Last touch by Trinity. Substitute coming on for Trinity. They bring in their big man, Mark Smith, senior out of Riverside Brookfield High School. Lewis Holy comes back in for Mitch Quasigrove, and Josh Cherry hops off the bench as well. Malik Bailey grabs a seat. Pekka inbounds. It's swatted away by Kolmaisic, but right to Presniakovis. And a blocking foul called on Josh Cherry will send Presniakovis to the free throw line. Cherry tried to take the charge, did not get the call. Much to the consternation of the fans. Presniakovis is at the free throw line. 65% foul shooter, makes the first. Gets the second as well. 41-22. Maisel across the timeline down to the corner for Misick. Another three-point attempt. Misses. Rebound knocked around on the floor. It's brought in by Trinity. Pekka in some trouble on the floor, but he's able to pass out of it to Thaddeus Johnson. Johnson to Pekka in stride, who hits the three. First 3 points of the game for Ron Pekka. It's 5 straight points for Trinity International after St. Francis had been on a 23-5 run. Gamazel way up top, dribbles to his left. Back to Jordan Thornton with under 3 minutes to play in the first half. In the corner, Gamazel fakes the three, steps in, kicks it outside. Thornton for three. It's good. Gamazel had a wide open shot. He wanted 3 points rather than 2, so he gave it up to Thornton. Gets the assist instead. And Jordan Thornton all of a sudden has 10 points, like a lightning rod. Went loose over the last couple of minutes as that shot misses, and it's rebounded by Holy. Misick ahead to Thornton, layup, got it, and a foul. Jordan Thornton has heated up in a hurry. He's tied up with Cole Misick now with 12 points to lead the team, and he's got a chance for number 13 right here. Thornton is an 80% shooter from the line. A 21-point lead for St. Francis, and Thornton makes it 22. 47-25, Trinity basketball. Cross half court to Thaddeus Johnson. Out to Pekka on the right. Pekka looking down low for Mark Smith. Not in position against Lewis Holy, so instead it's Thaddeus Johnson up top. Johnson lobs it in for Smith. Smith against Holy, back outside to Johnson. Long jumper misses, and it's out of bounds. Going to St. Francis. Good battle inside there between Mark Smith and Lewis Holy. Both guys very physical down low. There's Jordan Thornton on the right wing. Back to Gamazel. Gamazel, deep wing, right side. Pulls it to the top. Off to Holy. Lewis Holy bounces once. Gives it up to Gamazel. Gamazel drives all the way to the hoop. Lays it up and in. 4 points for Jarrett Gamazel. 24-point St. Francis lead. Johnson up top to Pekka. Over to the left side, Presniakovis has it knocked away by Lewis Holy, but Holy also got a chunk of Presniakovis' face, so it's a foul on Holy. That's his first, the team's 8th, so Presniakovis will go to the line for a 1-and-1. Presniakovis made them both a couple of minutes ago. And he makes the first one here as well. Second shot misses, rebounded by Holy. Eric Ting passes to Josh Cherry on the left side. Cherry up top to Thornton. Jordan Thornton pulls up, fires a long range two, no good. Holy offensive rebound to Gamazel. Deep three, good. Holy kept it alive, found an open shooter, and Gamazel makes Trinity pay 52 to 26. Here's Presniakovis. He drives. Presniakov is halted by Cherry, forces it up anyway, misses, chases down his own rebound. Stripped away from Presniakovis by Ting. Loose ball secured by Mark Smith, and Smith is fouled going to the basket. Getting very physical down low. And that long sequence ends with Trinity International getting to the free throw line. Saints are doubling up the Trojans here in the first half, but Mark Smith gets an opportunity now to add 2 points to his team's total, just his 7th and 8th free throw attempts of the season. And the first one misses. He's made 4 this year. Second shot, right on the money. 40 seconds to play in the first half. St. Francis will take probably their last possession before halftime right here. Trying to extend a 25-point lead. Gamazel step back 3, and he does extend the lead. Back-to-back threes for Jarrett Gamazel. He's got 10 points. One of 3 Saints in double figures in just the first half. There's a trap of Schmidt. He gets it away though. Guerra loses the ball out of bounds, and a foul is called on Lewis Holy. So that means 2 free throws for Trinity. Second foul on Holy. And then with 14 seconds to play in the half, 2 shots for Trevor Guerra. Guerra just 3 of 8 from the line this year, but he gets the first here. One more shot coming to make it a 26-point game. And he misses it, rebounded by Mitch Quasigrove. So the Saints do have the opportunity to take one final shot here. 9 seconds. Gamazel over to Cherry with 5 seconds. It's Jordan Thornton. Thornton works his way inside, steps back. 2-pointer is good, and that ends the first half. Jordan Thornton ends a spectacular first half with another jump shot that goes for him. 15 points for Thornton in the first 20 minutes of play, and a huge first half for the Fighting Saints as they put 57 on the board. They lead Trinity International by 29 points. We've got 20 minutes still to go in this game, and we'll have that for you, but not for a little bit yet. I'll step aside for about 15 minutes. Back with the second half, it's 57-28 St. Francis. Second half just about to start here in Joliet. St. Francis has a big lead on Trinity International. Our score is 57-28. Terry Bonadonna with you once again as we get set to begin the second 20-minute stanza of today's game. First half dominated by St. Francis, who was nip and tuck early on. The Saints had an 18-15 lead at one point, and then they just went off. 23-5 run to pull away, and now they lead by 29 points as we start the second half of action. St. Francis in today's game has hit 10 of 24 three-pointers. They've hit 50% of their shots overall. Trinity, on the other hand, shooting just 28% from the field, including 5 of 22 on two-point shots. Starters are back in for St. Francis. That means 5 seniors today on Senior Day, including Quinn Schnieders, who made the first start of his collegiate career in this game. Schnieders hit a three-pointer early on. It was his first field goal of the season. Jordan Thornton has the ball. He had a huge first half, 15 points to lead the way for St. Francis. One of 3 players in double figures. Cole Mysick had 12. Jared Gnazel had 10. All 3 of them are seniors today on Senior Day. Schnieders from the outside misses on the three-point attempt, and the rebound goes to Jeremy Bonifacio. Here comes Trinity International with their first possession of the half. Presniakovis up top to Ron Pekka. Pekka drives with the left hand right down the lane, and he walks. Trinity was led in the first half by Nate Schmidt, who had 9 points on 3 three-pointers. Thaddeus Johnson led the team with 6 rebounds. Saints' rebound leader was Josh Cherry with 7 of them, and only 8 minutes played. Malik Bailey at the free throw line. Bailey hands it off to Schnieders. Schnieders dribbles it off to the right side. Tries to cut inside, throws it away. It's picked off by Pekka. Ron Pekka back to Thaddeus Johnson. Johnson inside, puts it up and a little bit too strong, but he gets his own rebound, scores, and draws the foul. Foul is on Mitch Quasigro. That's the second foul on Quasigro. Gives Thaddeus Johnson a free throw, but he misses. However, he chases down his own rebound. Trinity just 6 of 14 on free throws, and they miss the three-pointer as well as Pekka comes up empty. Here come the Saints. Cole Mysick steps into a long three and hits. Cole Mysick has just been lights out these last couple of games. His 5th three-pointer today, his 13th of his last 2 games. He's got 15 points to match Jordan Thornton for the team lead. Johnson misses inside. Rebound Quasigro. Here comes Bailey ahead to Thornton. Jordan Thornton's 3. Rattles home. Not to be outdone by Cole Mysick. Jordan Thornton overtakes Mysick for the team lead. He's got 18 points now. Thornton, for a long time this year, was the team's leading scorer off the bench as Presniakovis sends it inside to the cutting Schmidt, who misses, gets his own rebound. Back outside, it's Pekka around Thornton. Pekka to the basket, lays it up and in. Thornton scored in double figures this season in 7 of the team's first 8 games. He's now matched his season high with 18 points today. Jordan Thornton drives to the basket. Now he's got 20, and he's fouled. He'll get a chance for 21. It's been quite a show today for Jordan Thornton. Foul is called on Ron Pekka, who had 2 quick fouls in the first half. 2 fouls in the first 4 minutes, I believe, and now he's got 1 early in the second half as well, his 3rd overall. Thornton hits the free throw. He's got 21 points. 6 of them already in the second half. 66-32. St. Francis leads. There's Presniakovis on the left wing. Back to Pekka near midcourt. Nate Schmidt now. Presniakovis, left wing, 12 seconds on the shot clock. Pekka sends it down to the corner for Schmidt. 6 seconds to shoot for Thaddeus Johnson. Posting up on Malik Bailey, stripped from behind by Thornton, who keeps his feet in bounds as he gets the steal. Thornton runs right into Pekka, and an offensive foul is called on Jordan Thornton. Thornton gets the steal, but he turns it over going the other way. We'll head back to the other side of the floor. 17:03 to play in this game. Presniakovas drives down the lane, turnaround, jumper is good from close range. Diamond Presniakovas has 2 more, give him 10 for the game. He is the first Trojan in double figures today. 3 Saints got there in the first half. Lobbed for Malik Bailey, the layup is good on the alley-oop. Bailey's got 7 points. Thaddeus Johnson on the other end for the Trojans, down to the corner for Bonifacio and back outside. Pekka bounces in the post to Presniakovas. Nice move to shake free from Mitch Quasigro, and he hooks it in. 12 points for him. Misick on the right wing. To the top and Malik Bailey. Now left side, it's Jordan Thornton. Thornton steps up, takes a 3 and hits it. 24 for Jordan Thornton. And he is hitting everything right now. Thornton, 9 of 16 from the field for the game. There's a 3-point attempt from Schmidt that misses. Rebound tapped out to Quinn Schnieders. Knocked out of Schnieders' hands. He chases it down. Ahead to Malik Bailey. Bailey for 3. Bailey hits. He becomes the 4th Fighting Saint in double figures. Bailey's got 10 points, 74-36, St. Francis. Working against Thaddeus Johnson. Here's Presniakovas along the baseline, blocked by Thornton. Thornton tracks it down. Thornton on the run, all the way inside. Can't lay it in this time. And a whistle. We've got a foul on the loose ball called against Trinity International. Jordan Thornton's always been a guy who can light up the scoreboard from time to time, but coming into today, he was shooting only 39% from the field for the season. Today he's 9 of 17 from the field for his 24 points. Cole Misick gets the screen from Quasigro, driving to the left. Pull-up jumper doesn't count. He was fouled on the floor.
Foul called number 2, Trevor Ross, his first, team's 3rd.
First foul on Trevor Ross. The 3rd on Trinity International. Jared Gamazel fires it into the corner for Cole Misick. Misick fights up a 3 and misses. Rebound goes to Bonifacio. Back to Johnson. Thaddeus Johnson drives, stripped, but a foul call. Foul on Malik Bailey, his first, as he tried to take the ball away. He did take the ball away. He just did so, apparently illegally. Trevor Ross will inbound. 3 fouls now on each team. Bonifacio receives the pass, backs it on Bailey. Bonifacio turns around, puts it up with the right hand and scores. Nice move down low from Bonifacio. He's got 4 points. Cole Misick to Jordan Thornton. Another 3-point attempt, short. Rebound tapped out, another offensive board. Cole Misick. In the first half, both teams did a good job with offensive rebounds. 9 for St. Francis, 10 for Trinity International. But the difference is what they did with their second chances. Gamazel fires a 3, does not get the roll, and it goes to Presniakovas. Saints outscored the Trojans 9-3 on second chances in the first half. Come up empty this time in the second half as Bonifacio gets to the basket and lays it in. 74-40, just over 6 minutes into the second half. Malik Bailey, deep 3, no. Rebound to Trinity. Bonifacio bounces it ahead for Presniakovas, deflected, ball loose. Jordan Thornton on the floor, grabs it, and I think he got a timeout call. That's exactly what happened. Jordan Thornton was able to grab that ball while sitting on the floor. He called timeout, and so St. Francis will head to the sideline with possession. 13:36 to play in the second half. Jordan Thornton's 24 points tonight are a new career high for the senior. Previous best had been 23 points, which he achieved in a game in his junior season. Last year, Thornton averaged about 7 points per game. He was a starter, a full-time starter as a sophomore. His lone season at St. Francis in which he averaged double figures. Cole Misick is St. Francis' leading scorer for the season. Playing off the bench the last several weeks, he's still been able to put up big point totals. Came in averaging 12.5 points per game. He's got 18 today. Sorry, 15 today for Misick. Here's Eric Ting. Over to Gamazel, right wing. Gamazel dribbles off to the right side, back up to Joey Bajimi. He drives, kicks it out. Gamazel on the move. Gamazel into the corner for Agard, deflected. Holy tracks it down. Back to Gamazel, three-pointer. No, Holy with the tip, got it. First field goal of the game for Lewis Holy, who has also contributed very well on the offensive glass. That was Holy's 5th rebound. It's only his 2nd offensive rebound, but he's kept 3 other plays alive by tipping them out to teammates. Bonifacio off the back iron, does not get the roll. Rebound knocked around into the hands of Holy. Here comes Jarek Gamazel on the run. Saints have numbers. Agard lays it up and in. Arnold Agard has his first 2 points. Now the Saints try to trap. Trojans get out of it. Presniakovis all the way down the lane for the layup. Nice drive for Presniakovis, who's now got 14 points. Arnold Agard laid it up on the last possession. He became the 11th Fighting Saint to scratch the scoreboard today. 3 are in double figures. Make that 4 in double figures. Bounced in for Lewis Holy. Holy lays it up and scores. Good pass from Jarek Gamazel. And Holy is able to get another layup. 5 points for him, 80-42. St. Francis leads under 12 minutes to play. Bonifacio lobs it inside, caught by Thaddeus Johnson. Johnson takes it up and draws the foul. Thaddeus Johnson will try to add to his scoring total today. 4 points for him. Came in averaging a team 2nd best, 11.4 per game. He makes the free throw. Johnson, a senior from Morton West High School in Berwyn, Illinois, averaging 8.6 rebounds per game to lead the team. He's had a good day on the glass today. Scores 2 points on that possession to make it 80-44. Cross court, Eric Ting. Ting along the baseline, bumped by Ross. Second foul on Trevor Ross. Each team has now committed 4. Agard throws it into the backcourt where Eric Ting is able to make the rundown. Now Ting going back the other way. Followed by Jonathan Johansson. Into the corner, Joey Bajimi for 3. In and out. Johansson, 3-pointer, got it. First shot of the game for Jonathan Johansson. Freshman from Sweden just off the bench. There's Eric Ting getting bumped and scoring. Good drive for Ting. He's got one more chance now from the free throw line. Foul is on Johansson. His first. Eric Ting's got 4 points in the game. And now he's got 5. Presniakovis in some trouble and now gets it across half court to Hildebrand. Trevor Ross drives from the top. Ross has it stripped and a foul is called. Foul is called on Lewis Holy. Check that on Eric Ting. Second on Ting. Fifth on St. Francis. 2 free throws for Ross. And the first one goes in. First point of the game for Trevor Ross. He makes 1 of 2 as Holy comes down with the rebound. Eric Ting on the move. Ting down to the corner for Gamazel. On the right wing, Gamazel works against Thaddeus Johnson. Drives, kicks it out to Holy. Holy for 3, good. Lewis Holy joins the 3-point parade. 6 different Saints have hit 3s today. Ball loose and backcourt. Ross could not keep it on the proper side of the half-court stripe. It's a turnover for Trinity International. 10-11 to play. Second half, big lead for St. Francis. They've got the ball. Arnold Agard walks it to the left. Agard up top to Eric Ting. Over to Gamazel on the right wing. Gamazel takes 1 dribble, fires the 3, and drains it. Saints have gotten a lot of open looks today. They've taken advantage. Presniakovis on the other end, fouled by Ting. On the floor. They'll start it over from the baseline. Third foul on Ting. Ting hasn't played his usual battery of minutes tonight because of senior night. He's just a junior, so he spent a little more time on the bench, but he has picked up 3 fouls now as the shot misses. Ross gets the rebound. He's fouled by Lewis Holy. That's the 3rd on Holy. Check that, his 4th foul on Holy. And now Trinity is in the bonus. Mitch Quasigro comes in for Holy, or he will, after this first free throw. 2 more guys headed to the scores table as well as the first free throw goes for Ross. Carlos Tobias is in for the first time. Cole Mysick comes in, Josh Cherry, Jordan Thornton. 5 brand new players on the floor. Second shot rolls in. Here comes Jordan Thornton. To Tobias. Down to the corner for Cole Mysick. Mysick pull up from 2-point range is good. It's Mysick's first field goal attempt from 2-point range today. He hits it. He's got 17 points now. Scored a career high 29. At least a St. Francis career high in his last outing. As that shot misses from Johnson. He deflects the pass, but it's right back to Quasigro. Now Tobias down to Thornton in the corner. Thornton pulls it back out. So an interesting start to this possession, but Trinity does a good job of getting back on defense and forcing St. Francis to set up the half-court game. Thornton drives and lays it in. Jordan Thornton has 26, extending his career high in his last collegiate game at the Sullivan Center. Poked away from Johansson. He gets it back, throws it over to Ross. Ross down to the corner. There's a fake from Presniakovis. He drives, lays it in. 16 for Diamond Presniakovis. 93-52 is our score. There's Mitch Quasigro. Up to Cole Mysick. Mysick backs it up. Guarded by Hildebrand. Walks to the right side, tries to pass it inside, but it's deflected and stolen. Johnson gets the steal. Here's Presniakovis at the free throw line. Lobbed inside for Ross. Layup is good. Carlos Tobias handles the ball for St. Francis. Just came into the game about a minute ago. But Tobias is the only Fighting Saint to have played today and not scored. See if they can get him some offensive action as Mysick drives, loses the ball, and a foul called on John Hildebrand.
Foul called on number 20, John
Hildebrand is called for his 3rd. Sophomore from Hungary. He is one of 3 international players on the Trinity International roster as Micek makes the first free throw. He's from Hungary. Jonathan Johansson's from Sweden. And Ron Pekka, who checks back into the game right now, is from Estonia. Mark Smith and Jeremy Bonifacio are back in as well. Micek gets them both. 19 in the game now for Cole Micek. On the right side, Johansson. Pekka with 12 on the shot clock, pulls it outside. Pekka directing his traffic to the left, now bounced in for Mark Smith. Smith working against Quasigrove, kicks it back outside. Johansson, as the shot clock expires, misses on the three-pointer. Offensive rebound, Bonifacio. Back to Mark Smith, down low. Smith again working inside against Quasigrove. Kicks it out to Bonifacio. Jumper, banks in.
Jeremy Bonifacio.
Here's Jordan Thornton for the Saints. Thornton kicks it over to Quasigrove. Quasigrove down low, Cherry, baseline jumper, rims out. Rebound to Mark Smith. Johansson gets the drive and misses on the layup. Had a step on Cole Micek but couldn't finish. Jordan Thornton for three. It's good. 29 for Jordan Thornton. Cole Micek gives him the assist. 6:15 to play in this one. Huge lead for St. Francis, 98-56. Here comes Jeremy Bonifacio taking it inside. He throws it in off the backboard. Bonifacio's got 10 points. Thornton to Micek. Micek, deep three. It's good. Saints have cracked the century mark. 101-58. Micek's got 22. Thornton's got 29. So those two guys have over half of St. Francis's points. Mark Smith down low. Nice touch from Smith off the glass. Scores over Mitch Quasigrove. The lead is down to 41. There's Carlos Tavares. He'll try a three. Misses a little bit long. Rebounded by Trinity. There's Ron Pekka. Pekka down to the corner for Bonifacio, working against Josh Cherry. Cuts inside, kicks it to the free throw line to Mark Smith. Smith shovels it off down low to Hildebrand, who's fouled by Quasigrove.
Foul number 33, Mitch Quasigrove, his third.
Third foul on Mitch Quasigrove with 5:08 to play. John Hildebrand will get 2 free throws here. First one is good. St. Francis's season high in points scored is 106. That came on December 18th rather, against Cardinal Stritch. Tyler Irvin comes in. Free throw is good for Hildebrand. First time we've seen Irvin today. Quinn Schneiders is back in there as well. Micek, Tobias, and Gamazel all sit down. Malik Bailey, third man to return to action. He misses that runner off the backboard. Rebound is chased down by Ron Pekka. Pekka bounces it in for Mark Smith, taken away by Bailey. Bailey forces it ahead for Thornton. Thornton all the way to the hoop, lays it up, misses. Quasigrove misses on the tip and loses the rebound out of bounds. Where's the tip gun? 4:45 to play. And Jordan Thornton checks out with 29 points. Aaron Mahalik comes in. Big hand for Thornton in the work he did today. Here's Pekka. Pekka bounces it down low for Bonifacio. Cross court into the corner. Johansson's pass to Mark Smith is taken away by Bailey. Bailey ahead to Mahalik, who loses it, gets it back, lays it up and in. Aaron Mahalik becomes the 12th Fighting Saint to hit the scoreboard today as Jonathan Johansson is fouled, taking it the other way. Mahalik is appearing in his 5th game of the season. Take that back. It's his 6th game of the season. Layup marks his first points of 2019-20. First free throw is good for Johansson. So earlier we saw Quinn Schnieders hit on his first field goal of the year. Mitch Quasigro checks out, and Quasigro gets a big hand as he departs with 3 points today. Second free throw is good. Quasigro scored those 3 points early. He's been involved, but not as much on the scoreboard as the game has gone on. Malik Bailey fakes, drives, pull up, jumper is good. 105-64 St. Francis. Deep three for Johansson misses. Bailey comes down with the rebound, and Bailey takes off. He's fouled by Johansson.
Trinity International foul number 3, Jonathan Johansson, his second, team 7.
Second foul on Johansson. It sends Bailey to the free throw line. Bailey's first, and the 1-and-1 is good. Malik Bailey's got 14 points. Or 13, I should say. See if he can prove me right with this shot. I just spoke a little too soon, that's all. New season high in points scored for St. Francis. 107 on the board today. We still have almost 4 minutes to go. We've had 12 different players score. I mentioned Quinn Schnieders made his first field goal of the year. Aaron Mahalik scored his first points of the year. And there's a block shot for Tyler Irvin. Irvin turns away Aaron Kafur. Bailey twists his body and somehow gets inside for the layup. And now 16 for Malik Bailey. Johansson, deep three. Rolls around the rim and falls through. Johansson's got 8 points coming in late off the bench. Averaged 3.7 per game this year. Bailey, a deep three. He's feeling it right now. The senior Bailey has 19 points, and that'll do it for him as he checks out. Cole Misick comes in for him, and Bailey with his 19 points gets a big hand. Misick came out just to congratulate Bailey. Josh Cherry is the player to check in. 112-67 St. Francis, 3 minutes to go. Here's a three-point attempt for Trevor Guerra, no good. Putback misses. Now it's loose on the floor and picked up by Gamazel. Jared Gamazel across half court. Gamazel lobs it in for Cherry, misses the dunk attempt on the alley-oop, and we're going the other way. Guerra into the corner for Johansson, three-pointer, got it. Boy, Johansson's been good off the bench, 11 points for him. Here's Quinn Schnieders, a long three, he got it! 6 points now for Quinn Schnieders. 115-70. That was from a long way out. His second three-pointer of the game. Mark Smith lays it in on the other side. Continue to move at a brisk pace here as Carlos Tavares hops off the bench. And he comes in for Jared Gamazel. Gamazel leaves with 13 points, and now he gets his big round of applause, checking out for the last time at home. Here's Tavares to Cherry. Over to Mahalik on the left wing. Mahalik down to the corner for Schnieders. Turnaround three. Off the back iron. Good rebound for Carlos Tavares to Mahalik. He tries the three and hits. Aaron Mahalik's got 5 points. 118-72. There's Trevor Guerra losing the ball out of bounds. 118 points in the game today for St. Francis. Their fourth highest total in any game this year. And it comes on senior day. Quinn Schnieders, another three. Missed it short, and a loose ball foul called on Josh Cherry. St. Francis will head out to St. Xavier on the south side of Chicago on Wednesday. 5 o'clock start time. That'll be the first game of the doubleheader, with the women's game coming up at 7. That's the last game of the season for the Fighting Saints as they close up the 2019-20 campaign. Today, the final home game of the year. First free throw is good for Johansson. 12 points for Johansson. Now he's got 13. Here's Carlos Tobias, nifty ball work. Back outside to Schnieders. Schnieders drives, keeps the dribble alive and kicks it out to Mahalik. Back to Schnieders. Schnieders puts the ball behind his back, 15 on the shot clock. Trying to get one last field goal here. A long three-pointer, air ball, and out of bounds. 61 seconds to play. Here's Trevor Guerra, cross half court for Trinity. Guerra dribbles it to the right, passes Johansson. Deep three, Johansson, short this time. Rebound grabbed offensively by Josh Dowling, back up, no. Battle for the loose ball and a foul call. Two free throws belong to Aaron Kafur here. First one is good. And one last big round of applause for a departing senior, Quinn Schnieders. Checks out of the game. 6 seniors all got big action today for St. Francis and all played a big part in this blowout score. 118-75. The second free throw missed. I think we have a lane violation, so we'll do it again. There were 7 seniors honored before the game today. The 7th was Jack Shields, student assistant. Second shot, or the third shot really, goes in after the second was called off on the lane violation. Here's Carlos Tobias. Tobias on the drive, kicks it in the corner. Mahalik again, misses the three-pointer. Rebounded by Josh Dowling. Dowling ahead to Aaron Kafur. Now to the corner, a drive, layup misses from Guerra, but the putback is good. Josh Dowling follows, and there's an injured man for the Trojans. 19 seconds to go in a game that has long been a blowout. Certainly don't want to see an injury ever, but at this time, you really don't want to see it, and fortunately Guerra is up and he says he's fine. 19 seconds to go. This game will wrap up shortly. The Saints will inbound it one more time. We'll see if they run a possession or if they just dribble out the clock. Eric Ting grabs it, carries it slowly up the floor. Trinity has backed off defensively, and Ting will indeed just dribble out the remaining 10 seconds. 118-78, a 40-point victory for St. Francis, the 4th highest scoring total in school history. And a fine way to wrap up the home schedule here in 2020. 118-78, St. Francis picks up the victory over Trinity International. And the Fighting Saints, despite having to deal with some disappointments throughout this season, at least get to end here at home on a high note. They'll try to end the actual season on a high note Wednesday against St. Xavier as they look to end the season on a 2-game winning streak. They haven't won 2 in a row since their first 2 games of the season, so that would be nice symmetry to win the first 2 and the last 2. They improved to 10-17 on the season with today's win, 8-13 in conference. Trinity International falls to 5-21 this year, 4-16 in CCAC play in the 2019-20 season. For St. Francis, one of the better, certainly more entertaining performances they've had all season. Big contributions up and down the lineup. Jordan Thornton led the way by scoring a career-high 29 points. He got just his second start of the season today, and he certainly made the most of it. Big games offensively as well for Cole Mysick, for Jarrett Gamazel. Malik Bailey really turned it on late. Bailey finished with 19 points of his own as he scored most of them in the second half. Again, St. Francis plays on Wednesday at St. Xavier at 5:00 p.m. Central Time, and you can follow along with the end of the season, as always, through GoFightingSaints.com. Nice win today for St. Francis as they wrap up their home schedule with their 10th win and their 8th in conference. I mentioned it before in this game. Their losses have generally been close. Their wins, not necessarily. They beat Trinity Christian earlier this season in a conference game by 28. They beat Cardinal Stritch by 22, and now their biggest win in a long time as they beat Trinity International by 40 points. Trinity was led by Diamond Presniakovis. The 16-point performance for him, maybe reminiscent of his brother Edvinas Presniakovis, who had plenty of big games in this arena as a member of University of St. Francis team. But a good game for him and a good game off the bench as well for Jonathan Johansson, who scored double figures just over the second half of action today. Final score, once again, 118-78. St. Francis defeats Trinity International. That'll do it for today's broadcast. Thanks for tuning in. Hopefully you enjoyed yourselves, and hopefully you'll follow along on Wednesday as St. Francis takes on St. Xavier at St. Xavier in the final game of the season. This will be the last time we have a broadcast for you this year, though, so thanks for tuning in. Until next time, this is Terry Bonadonna signing off for the University of St. Francis. Have a good night, all.